The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends. So what do we have going on today? Well, besides most of the time meeting, I'm trying to figure out why that happened. Okay. See if we get this back. Okay, there we go. Get this out of the way here. Get a few technical issues straightened out. What I was going to say is we always meet here at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And should be back to good now. Okay, so what do we have going on out here? Well, we were down, almost 20 points on the S&P cash. Still off a little more than 9, a little less than 10 at 2428.55 on the S&P cash. Volume just a hair shy of 2 billion shares. And I had to say I was very concerned earlier in the day because I thought there was no volume to the downside until I figured out that someone had pulled the cord on volume. It was only reporting the floor-traded NYSE volume this morning. The NASDAQ was fine. And looking at what was going on, so I thought, even up into a couple of hours ago, they didn't have it fixed. So it was reporting very, very infinitesimal volume. I thought, okay, I guess I just have to pull the trigger and go long here if the volume's this low. Well, it wasn't. They just had pulled the plug, so you weren't getting the Amex volume on a normal day, and weren't getting any of the ECN volume. So it looked like there was absolutely no interest in selling at lower prices earlier in the day. That has kind of come back, and I see that even the individual stocks now are being corrected, at least on my feed. So volume is increasing, but it's only increasing because they fixed it, not because there's any more coming in. So had a pretty good morning. Volume was pretty good. It's been fairly light since about 11:30. I don't know if there's much more to say about it. That we're off kind of about half of what we were down. Still shows a little bit of downward pressure in the markets. But of course, everybody has to buy. I guess it's the law. You must buy before the very end of the day. We'll see if that holds up. I continue to see options and option players look like downside is still a option. We're going into quad witching tomorrow. A lot of things could break because there's a lot of from bonds to options and futures. There's a huge rift between those. So I think it's going to be a big trading day, unlike today for most of us. So I'd say get your sleep tonight because we could see a lot of fireworks tomorrow. No guarantee, but all the conditions are right to see wild intraday swings tomorrow. That is, a lot of people are out of position in a lot of different things. Of course, in the morning, you get the futures expiring at 9:35. They wait until all of them are open, and it's at least 5 minutes in to the trading session. And of course, options expiring at the end of the day, equity options. So you got, you got a lot of stuff really flying back and forth. And there are a lot of people that are really off sides. If one is right, the other one's got to be wrong, or they got to meet in the middle or something. And tomorrow, I think, will be a day of reckoning. Anyway, 2429 on the S&P cash volume, as I said, just shy of 2 billion shares. So fairly decent compared to a lot of the days where we were only getting 1.6, 1.7, or even 1.8 billion shares as we started the show. So not a bad deal out there. But let's get this show on the road. Am I a Trump associate? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Okay. I've never met the man. No naps. Oh, okay. Didn't follow. No naps tomorrow, I said. We could take a nap today. That wasn't a big deal. As we wanted to get back out here, what do we want to do? Oh, I wanted to get this done. Everything is trying to go against me today, isn't it? So see if I can figure this out here. Where's it at out here? I can't find it. Should I just sing it? Where's my history? History repeating. Oh, there it is.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1215, following a revolt by the English nobility against his rule, King John puts his royal seal on the Magna Carta, or Great Charter. The document, essentially a peace treaty between John and his barons, guarantees that the king would respect feudal rights and privileges, upholding the freedom of the church and maintaining the nation's laws. Although more reactionary than a progressive document for its day, the Magna Carta was seen as a cornerstone in the development of democratic England by later generations. It was not a hit in immediate terms. The Magna Carta was a failure. Civil War broke out the same year. John ignored his obligations under the charter. Under his death in 1216, however, the Magna Carta was reissued with some changes by his son, King Henry III, then reissued again in 2017. That year, the rebellious barons were defeated by the king's forces, and in 1225, Henry III voluntarily reissued the Magna Carta a third time, and it formally entered English statute law and kind of the predecessor of our Constitution, although it had a rough ride at its start. And that's it on this day in 1215. It is a mad market, and we'll go ahead and start taking a look at some of these stocks. Wanted to see how some of these, especially the 52-week highs, we're doing out here for volume. Amerisource Bergen Corporation, ABC, had 3 million shares February 13th of this year. It's $93.77, spiked it today with 1.138 million shares, so half, maybe just a little bit more of that, breaking a previous high. Abbott Laboratories, kind of nice out here. I'll clean this up. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. You can send me your Magna Carta stories. You have post a message in the back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're going to go to Mike, hopefully, from Ormond Beach. How you doing today, Mike?
Pretty good, Dave. I'm taking a little break here at work, and I glanced at one of my charts, and I was looking at Hector Mining. Do you think that's in an area for a buy right now? I see we're getting down to the low that we had at the beginning of May. My charting that I have on my phone is, I think it's a 20-minute delay, but the volume bar didn't look that bad at this time. I know we have a couple more hours to go.
No, it doesn't look, but, volume comes in almost all the stuff at the end of the day now. So
Okay.
it's more, I really, we talk about how light the volume is in here in the individual stocks, but man, just so much volume comes in the last 20 minutes. I really don't make a huge decision unless something is, I've got to have kind of fairly decent signal to do it before 3:30 or so. So I'm more into waiting way late in the day these days. So what are you thinking? You're long this now?
No, I'm thinking about going long it. Like I said, I saw that we're down into the low that we had at the beginning of May, and I
May
wanted
4th.
your opinion. Yeah, May the 4th.
I tell you what, you really right now this thing seems to be keyed to the dollar. You're up 56 cents. I'm not a believer in the dollar's going to 91. So I'm going to have a different opinion than maybe others here at TFNN. To me, this thing looks like it's going to go back up to 100 again. So I'm thinking it got down there, fairly low. It tested it. It's going to bounce back up for a while and drive everybody nuts. Mostly just because I don't know if they're actually going to do it, but it seems certainly like they're talking a great deal about pulling off $500 billion. And that's worth about 0.5% in interest rate hikes. So you got to kind of figure that in. I think they really kind of confirmed that yesterday. You're also going to get probably another dose of that in the minutes about 2 weeks from today, actually 2 weeks from yesterday, when you get those Fed minutes. And I think you're going to get yet another taste of it. So if I was going to play anything, I certainly wouldn't want to be probably long, unless something drastically changes between now and then, going into those Fed minutes. Because if they start really talking up taking off 500 million, 500, is it not 500 million? 500 billion, that's right, of QE. That's going to be the same effect of higher interest rates. So that would put the kibosh on that. The opposite side of that argument, which I do understand, I don't think it's going to happen, is that we are in deflationary times now, and that therefore the Fed won't do anything. They may just talk about it. But I think maybe just talking about it may be enough. So I'm very nervous about anything that is higher commodities, or that depends on lower interest rates, at least for the next 2 weeks. If they just say, hey, we've given up on it, but that's not what you said yesterday. So my guess is that's probably going to be the same thing we see in those Fed minutes. And I think that's, why they haven't been a big deal in the past. I think they are going to be a big deal. We've got one more rate hike this year and 3 more scheduled for next year, which can change in a New York second.
Right.
But to me, it's the case for a very strong gold seems to be tepid at best for me. I wouldn't be short it, but I just don't see, gold's got a long history just going sideways for a long time. We've been between 1,200 and 1,300. And I just don't see anything that drastically says in the charts that something has magically changed. I understand all the fundamental arguments. I just don't see the technical argument that we are out of this trading range yet.
Right, and I try to listen to Basil also, and I know he was in the camp also thinking that the dollar could do a bounce a little bit higher than people were anticipating. So, I
think to me, I really got that feeling, and we could, and even if they don't, and it's just a big put on, I think enough people are convinced that they are going to pull that off, that 500 billion off, or they're going to continue saying they are for a while. And that's going to put upward pressures on that dollar.
Okay. All right. So I'll just get back and watch these commodities and the metals.
If I saw something dramatically change, I would. But what you're looking for 7 million shares. You got about 4.5 million shares today. So maybe you're going to get 6 million by the end of the day. That's probably not enough for me to bite on a 7 million share low.
Right. Okay.
So that part too. Okay.
All right.
I'm not saying it's a horrible trade. It's my guess, though, there are better places out there unless you're just fixated on gold.
No, that's why I called you. I respect your knowledge and your opinion, and I always get the good answers that I need from all.
But we might. It would be nice if you got into that Fed announcement and everybody was on the opposite side of the fence, and they decided to do a UE on you. That may be a good day to buy if they do that. But you may also see it break the lows on that day if they have a lot more language and sound a lot more firm about pulling off some of that QE.
Yep. Okay. Well, I got to get back to work. Thank you very much.
Good enough.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Okay. What else do we have going on out here? Well, we'll look at a few more. Okay, American Capital. This is another 52-week high, breaking the May 1st high at 2142 with 3.6 million shares. Yesterday, you had 5 million shares as you broke it. Today, 2.1 million shares. So not a lot of follow through, a little lighter volume out here. You did have the volume yesterday. That's AGNC. So that's interesting. Let's take a look at some of these other 52-week highs. Allstate just keeps going higher. Nothing in that chart to comment on. Let's see what else we have out here. A lot of these Airmark just a little higher out here today. Volume doesn't look all that exciting. Fairly decent day for Boeing as it continues 52-week highs. Yesterday, you had 2.2 million shares. You got 1.7 so far. So it looks like it's at least going to test yesterday's volume. This is 195.22. But again, no signal out there other than it's continuing to go higher. CIT Group going against its May 24th high, $47.67. 10 million shares. Now, this one not that tough. 1.7 million shares so far. So fairly light volume day. 13 million shares on the 23rd of this thing. So, yeah, up here with pretty light volume on CIT.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we have a just a comment from Warren, and he's commenting on interest rates. Okay, yep. Just, yeah, a lot of stuff going on out here. Crude off 25 cents. Of course, the big move out here is $20 on gold. This thing really hadn't done much today after the move. It's been, every time I've looked, it's been around this 1255, 1257. So not a lot of action after this thing moved today. Well, maybe it's just playing possum. Copper, $2.56. So not much in there. The other one that I'm really kind of thinking about out here is natural gas, because it finally did move today after the EIA numbers at 10:30. It's up 12 cents. It's at least back up to $3. Normally, you want to keep a close eye on this thing about the 1st of August, and or if you get a giant heat wave across the Midwest and you start seeing natural gas used a little. Guess the big move out here, that's about 4% move in it, on one of the, they're really not putting that much natural gas away. So kind of surprising with all the extra natural gas and, of course, the declining price of crude itself. What else out? Level 3, another 52-week high. This did break through previous highs going back to the 12th. You had 2.8, 1.8, 3.2 million shares yesterday, just 1.7 million shares today. Looks like you could see a little bit of a reversal in this one, although I don't see a big signal on where you're would be looking at, but that one looks like it could start back. Pets, which is Pet Med. This thing has been a rocket since its last earnings call, where this thing popped on May 8th. Did so with 5 million shares. Yesterday, you had 415,000 shares, almost 800,000 shares today already. So people paying, it looks like at least investors thinking people paying up for Pet Meds. To see if there's anything else out here. We had Xerox. I haven't looked at this thing in forever. I don't know if that's real or not. Okay, what else do we have? Let's take a look at the bigger stocks. Amazon down kind of with the rest of the market. 960, a little hammer candle out here today on 4.3 million shares so far. That's compared to yesterday's 4 million shares. So we continue to see kind of a bipolar market. That, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it, is going into this 927 spike low of June 9th. Yeah, so you got a little bit left. You had some, of course, big volume there at 7.6 million shares, just 4.3 million shares so far. We'll take it. Microsoft, MSFT. A lot of good words on Microsoft today for their new laptops. I'd seen them, what's today, Thursday? Saw them Tuesday night. Drove by and saw a little show and tell on them. Probably the nicest laptops now available if you're wanting a Windows laptop. Not the cheapest. Things start around $1,000, but it is certainly, if you're looking at a medium to more expensive laptop, looking fairly good. This did, of course, open lower. It's kind of coming up a little bit, but not much juice today. Just 18 million shares compared to the 25.5 million shares yesterday. And look at the 49 million shares down on the 9th that we had. So you're kind of coming back to a little bit of those. NFLX. Now, we've been waiting for this to come back. If you are bullish, Netflix actually not looking, it came down with some volume a few times ago, but if you're looking for support, probably coming around in here, April 25th, this thing gapped up with 20.7 million shares and kind of tagged it today with about 5 million so far. So, we're probably coming into some support level on Netflix. I don't know. With that volume coming down mostly on the 12th and on the 9th, it does, 10.3 million shares, 14 million shares. So this is kind of down here on light volume. You may get a little consolidation before we get any big pushes from here on that. Let's see, what else do we have out here? 2430 on the S&P cash, volume 2.1 billion shares. So again, volume kind of light, still off 8 points on the S&P cash. Question. Do I have any firm forecast on the index moves the week of June 19th and June 26th? I don't know. Based on options? Don't understand. I have to find out a little bit more about what you're thinking. I suspect we're headed down through the rest of the summer. And I haven't seen anything to really change my call in that. Or have I changed my positions? I'm just thinking that one day we're going to gap down and that's going to be it. Everybody's going to assume they can just buy and they're going to continue to buy. But I don't know. We're sitting on we've got a couple of positions with some decent upside in them. The question is just how does that play out maybe in the next day or two, but longer term, I'm expecting us to probably move down to 2280, but that could be mid-July. So I'm not thinking in a big hurry right now. I think that the money's going to be me sitting on my hands in a short position. And as long as I continue to see Apple down $1, $2, $3, even though people buy it, you got to think that that's going to, at some point, all the other stocks can't handle or won't be able to handle all that downside pressure. Let's take a quick look at that. Saw it being sold rather affirmatively early. Now we're finally back to this gap up on May 1st when this popped up and started its run up to 156.65. 33.6 million shares on that day. So far, 24 million shares. So it's possible that we're probably going to find at least some level of support. I would not be surprised at all to see them try to push this to 145 tomorrow to kill off all those 145 calls. But normally when you're this far off on a stock, the selling discontinues. So I'm not going to put a big bet on it to go into 145. That would be if the market's up tomorrow. If it's down, we continue to see this thing sell off. This has been one that certainly looks like there have been far too many people playing this with leverage, and I mean margin in their account, thinking this thing was just going to go higher. You had a fairly clear sell signal, and you got to the highs with about 5 million shares light on June 7th and then rolled over. But it had a fairly decent pattern out here in the 3x3 that we talked about. It just went over it one more time before it failed. So anyway, we're at 2430. Volume has continued light since about 11:30. It's all going to be about the close once again today. We'll be back, and now we got 2 more segments to go.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And a follow-up email from yesterday's discussion about the IBB. There's a few of these things out here that I just don't see a lot of edge in. This is kind of stuck in this 192 to 196, 197 range, and it didn't bust out again. Today it did kind of pierce it for a little bit, but it's right back into that kind of range out here. Volume 1.6 million shares so far compared to the 1 million shares yesterday. So I continue to be biased to the downside. It's just I don't see anything that's really jumping out at the moment in a lot of these. I think this is Brooks Automation. Was looking at this one. So far, the volume is about the same as the May 18th low at 25.10. Came down yesterday on just 700,000 shares, but did pierce it and break it this morning. And we're going to watch how this thing closes, but it closed under 25.10. Probably going to end up with 1.15 million shares. So you're probably going to be right in line with the volume you've seen before at that previous low. Broadsoft, BSFT. This one's had a fairly decent retracement. It's gotten back up into some volume and gap downs. Same gap down on 1 million shares back on the 23rd of February. June 9th, it got into it with 574,000 shares. Been slowly rolling off from that gap down area since then. Fairly light volume today, though, 200,000 shares. Not a big volume stock. We talked about Caterpillar and how this thing looked like it could be weak. It's popping a little bit today. 3.8 million shares already. You really wanted to see 10 million shares from that 105.98 high on April 26. You came into it with half the volume. You were kind of up on today with 3.8 million shares. My guess is this thing goes back to 105 tomorrow, and maybe we start seeing this thing roll off next week. To see what else we have out here in my list of stuff. GDXJ. I mean, you had a fairly decent reversal signal on this one. Yesterday, opened higher, came down with 38.8 million shares. Today, just 7 million shares. So you're back to the gap up on the 6th. That gap up had 34 million shares. So again, not real clear, other than the very light volume today in that gap. You know, this on standard practice, I'm a big fan of testing lows on lighter volume. The May 4th low out there with 30 million shares. Is it that big of a deal? No, I just think your odds are much better. You get a low volume test of May 4th. What else do we have in here in my stuff? HPE. Take a quick look at this one. We've been talking about these coming back to these long-term gaps for a while. Let me take this one back just a little bit farther. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise gapped up with volume of 44 million shares back on the 25th of May 2016. We, of course, went much, much higher up to 2482. Kind of got destroyed. Finally back down to this area. It actually looks like it could be some decent support. You haven't had a lot of accelerating volume other than the down day of the first. You've kind of got this thing back down to support. I'm not a big fan of this thing. I don't think that there's a lot to it. But if you were probably short it, that's probably all you're going to get. HPQ, which is Hewlett, the other side of this HP thing, is you're back down to this big gap down. You tested it just a little while ago. Let's see, this is the 25th of February 2015, gap down with 10.4 million shares. You went and tagged that on May 25th. This thing, of course, reversed that day, had a kind of a little bit of a bounce. You had a good chance to get out if you were long. This thing's not done going down. You've got kind of a little gap back here. What's the low of the day? $16.35. So you still have 80 cents to the downside, I think, in this one fairly easily, going back to that 223. Pretty much sign of strength with 37 million shares. You're right kind of at the top of it, but this is not a very loved stock. I think you're going to find that this thing can go back down to that gap area of the 23rd of February. Let's see what else I have on my list of things that I haven't looked at for a while. JetBlue. Watching this thing spike the $23.15 high of January 11th. That had 6.4 million shares. We spiked it today with 2.46 million shares. With energy kind of coming down, you'd think you'd probably have an easy breakout on some of these. It's really since, what is that, the 24th of April, this thing has kind of just been in a downtrend of volume, even though it's kind of been moving higher out here. Anyway, a test of the previous high, that looks like it will come up short today unless something miraculously happens before the end of the day. See anything else is going on? Okay. Take a look at Clack. We thought that this one might have a fairly decent downside. We were hoping that this thing would bounce a little bit so we could short it. It's just continued down since the reversal on June 9th when this thing came down fairly hard with the rest of the semis. No bounce on this whatsoever. And, any kind of close back above the 3x3 might be a shorting opportunity. Click is another one in the same vein. Click and Clack used to be some favorite trading stocks of mine. Again, in these, get a little shorter version of it. These semis made some fairly decent signals that they were ready to roll over. Ran one more time, and in this case, the May 2nd high was $23 for Click at 884,000 shares. Retested it within 4 cents on June 9th. It came down with about 534,000 shares and reversed out of here. Now we're back at what should be support, which is that May 3rd low at $20.24. We got to 20.40 yesterday. Things kind of sitting around on light volume out here today, 178,000 shares. Let's see if there's anything else out here. May go back to a few days ago to see if there's anything else out here. TAP, T-A-P. Okay, now this one broke through with similar volume. Tried to see, at May 3rd, it had a big down day, $89.27. Did so again on the 7th with 9.44 million shares. So broke previous low with more volume, although not that much. You've got a second day of continuation with 8.5 million shares on the 8th. It's kind of bounced up a little bit here and then gap down today, no volume. 8603 is the next place to look for any kind of support. The Molsons, Cougars, PAP. We'll be back, finish up the segment, start talking about quad expiration tomorrow.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we'll look at a few more out here in this last segment. We're off, 6.5 points on the S&P cash, which is way off the low. We were down, 20, is that right? 22 points at one point? Yeah, close to it. Volume 2.2, call it 2.25 billion shares. So this is going to be an increase in volume over other days that we've been down compared to days that we've been up. So the bias, to me, is still lower. So we'll just keep an eye on it. We know that everybody must buy. It is the law at the close. So we might see a few more ticks back up. But again, one of these days, we're just going to see it flip. I don't see a lot of strength in this market. I'm really not worried about higher prices. I probably am more worried about the market going nowhere than I am about higher prices. Now, we go sideways for a couple of weeks. That could change. But at the present time, I'm just seeing a lot of people chase very small returns by buying anything every time the market pulls back. I don't see a lot of it. And the advanced decline line continues to tell me that the market's somewhat weak. Even Apple, it was down almost $3, still down $1.30, which is not up. And this thing could as easily close at 142.50 tomorrow. We'll see when I look through the data tonight after the close on what they've done with the options. But that would not be a surprise. But I could probably get a pretty good idea tonight if it's they're going to push Apple to 145 or 142.50 for expiration tomorrow. To see if there's anything else. I wanted to talk about Tesla. One of the reasons why I continue to think this market may have some weakness in it that we have not seen is in previous days, any pullback in Tesla was the shorts were run by the end of the day. And we're not seeing that today. This $10 pop down has pretty much stayed with the stock almost all day. Volume coming in at 8.6 million shares today compared to yesterday's 12.8 million share pop where they've run the shorts the last couple of days. Now, for a technical signal, what we really want to see is this close underneath the 3x3 the next few days. So tomorrow that would be a close under 364. Monday that'd be a close under 371.87. And Tuesday that would be 375.74. So this thing, if it just keeps going like that, is going to run into some sellers and maybe break in similar fashion to Apple. These things have been going up for a while. It's going to take a few days for these things to develop, but you really don't need much of a breakout here, I think, to start seeing some weakness. Soda. Now this one, I'm looking at it and still wondering how this thing is up here. Must be something at somewhere else. Anyway, you had the giant day of the 10th of May. You've been kind of playing around out here. I suspect that this one also in the next close under the 3x3 displaced moving average, we'll see a pullback to where this thing kind of took off back around the $40 level. So there may be a good short in this thing developing. I still don't understand the business model. Don't see many people buying this thing. I think maybe there's a lot more to it. And do we have time? We do not. I will be back tomorrow, bright and shiny, with well-rested, as all of you should. I think it's going to be a big trading day one way or the other. We'll look at it. Oh, I had a caller. Okay. See you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. So when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.